in the heart of the tempest, where legends clash with history. There exists a timeless debate that has fueled the imaginations of generations: pirates versus privateers. Pirates, those infamous outlaws of the high seas, and privateers, seemingly lawful mercenaries of maritime warfare, have both left deep scars on our history books. What if I told you that behind the treasure trove, swashbuckling adventures, and the lure of seven seas exists a moral dilemma that has divided scholars, historians, and armchair adventurers alike? Welcome aboard, my fellow seekers of truth. Today we embark on a voyage to explore a question that still echoes through the annals of time. Who were these real criminals of the age of sail? Set sail with us. More thrilling adventures. Subscribe to our channel and join the crew. It's a journey through the murky waters of history where lines between heroism and villainy blur like the horizon at twilight. So trim the sails and hoist the colors as we navigate through the treacherous waters of pirates versus privateers. Who were the real criminals? Quest for truth begins now. As we delve into the realm of privateers, we must first recognize the arguments put forth in their favor. Privateers were, after all, licensed by the governments to wage war on the high seas. They were seen as legal combatants, operating under the banner of their respective nations during times of conflict. Armed with a letter of marque and reprisal, these privateers were, in essence, instruments of state-sponsored warfare. Their missions often involved harassing enemy vessels, disrupting trade routes, and capturing strategic outposts, all within the bounds of the law. Or so they believed. If you enjoy this debate on pirates and privateers, don't keep it to yourself. Share the plunder with your mates. Sir Francis Drake, an English privateer, was known for circumnavigating the globe from 1577 to 1580. He plundered Spanish ships in the Caribbean, earning him the nickname El Drake. By the Spanish, his daring raids made him a hero in England and notorious figure in Spain. Captain William Kidd started his career as a privateer, but later turned to piracy. In the 1697, he was commissioned to capture pirates in the Indian Ocean, but ended up becoming a pirate himself. Most famous act was to capture of the Queedale Merchant, a ship loaded with treasures. He was eventually captured and executed in 1701. Jean Lafitte. Jean Lafitte was a French privateer and pirate who operated in the Gulf of Mexico during the 19th century. He and his brother, Pierre Lafitte, were known for smuggling, privateering, and piracy. During the War of 1812, Lafitte and his men helped defend New Orleans against the British, earning a pardon for their crimes. These are just a couple of famous privateers. If you want a whole video about famous privateers and not so famous, then make a little comment below down there in Davy Jones area. However, as we sail deeper into the history of privateering, we must acknowledge the blurred lines that separated these sanctions warriors from their infamous counterparts, the pirates. The distinction between privateer and pirate was often a matter of perspective, with one man's hero being another man's villain. In the chaos of battle, some privateers strayed from their prescribed roles with immense fortunes at stake. The allure of unfettered plunder sometimes proved too tempting to resist. The transition from privateer to pirate was not uncommon. This transformation blurred the moral lines even further. There were instances when privateers, driven by greed or desperation, crossed moral boundaries. Innocent civilian vessels could become unintended victims, and brutality was not unheard of in the heat of conflict. Such actions, while attributed to the fog of war, remained a stain on the legacy of some pirateers. Henry Morgan, a Welshman, began his career as a privateer in the Caribbean, raiding Spanish colonies and capturing ships. He was even knighted by the English crown for his actions. However, as his exploits continued, he became increasingly ruthless, attacking not only Spanish but also English and Dutch ships. His transition from a privateer to pirate blurred the lines between the two roles. Don't be a landlubber. Hit that like button and show your support for our swashbuckling content. William Dampier was an English privateer who conducted expeditions in the late 17th century. While initially sanctioned by the English crown, he faced accusations of piracy due to his aggressive tactics and unauthorized raids on Spanish and Dutch vessels. He was arrested and briefly imprisoned in England, but he managed to avoid a trial and went on to become a famous explorer and naturalist. Jean Bart was a French privateer in the late 17th century who served during the 9-Year War. His reputation as a successful privateer earned him accolades and rewards from the French government. However, following the war, he was accused of piracy by English and Dutch ships, leading to diplomatic tension. Ultimately, he was captured, but later released as part of a prisoner exchange. So, as we navigate these treacherous waters of history, we must weigh the arguments for and against privateers, legitimate combatants. Were they noble defenders of the nations? Did the alluring promise of wealth lead them astray, causing them to cross the very moral boundaries they were meant to uphold? Who were the real criminals? Where the line between hero and outlaw may forever remain shrouded in mystery. Here are some famous battles between privateers and pirates you may or may not have known about. Leave a comment below in Davy Jones area if you want a full video about these pirate battles. Battle of Cartagena in Indies. 1697, this battle took place during 9-Year War and involved French privateers led by Jean-Baptiste Ducasse and Dutch pirates. They joined forces to attack the Spanish port of Cartagena de Indias in present-day Colombia. The battle resulted from a combination of political tension and opportunistic piracy. In the end, the Spanish defenders repelled the attackers, forcing them to retreat, and the battle had no clear victor. Battle of Cape Lopez, 1722. In this battle, the notorious pirate Bartholomew Roberts, also known as Black Bart, clashed with a fleet of Royal Navy ships and British privateers off the coast of West Africa. The privateers were hired to capture or kill Roberts, who had been terrorizing the Atlantic. The battle ended tragically for Roberts as he was killed in action. It marked one of the significant confrontations between pirates and privateers during the golden age of piracy. One lesser known battle involving privateers and pirates was the Battle of Cape Fear River during the American Revolution in 1782. Captain William Thomas, commanding the privateer brigantine Hector, engaged with the British privateer General Monk near the Cape Fear River in North Carolina. The General Monk, initially a privateer, was accused of turning to piracy as it attacked the captured American ships. Captain Thompson Hector intercepted the General Monk and, after an intense naval battle, managed to capture the British privateer. This battle highlighted the blurred lines between privateering and piracy during times of war. The debate surrounding privateers and pirates is as old as maritime history itself. One side proponents argue that the privateers were essential defenders of their nation's interests during tumultuous times. They were patriots, sanctioned by their governments to strike fear into the hearts of the enemies. Advocates emphasized that privateers played a pivotal role in shaping history. They disrupted rival nations' economies, weakened their naval forces, and helped secure vital trade routes. In essence, they were instruments of global political strategy, striving to bring glory to their homeland. Also, in other ways, privateers' roles in the shaping history. Naval warfare and defense. Privateers were instrumental during times of war, especially in the Age of Sail. They functioned as a co-effective extension of nations' navies. Governments issued privateering licenses to civilian ships, allowing them to legally attack and capture enemy vessels. This helped protect the nation's maritime interests and maintain control over key trade routes. Economic impact. Privateering was a profitable enterprise, and it played a significant role in boosting a nation's economy. Privateers captured enemy vessels, seized valuable cargo, and earned bounties and rewards. This influx of wealth contributed to the economic prosperity of their home countries. Your comments are compass. Leave your thoughts below and let's keep the discussion alive. Our conflict resolution. During conflict, privateers disrupted enemy supply lines and commerce. Their actions forced nations to the negotiating table, hastening the end of wars. The threat of privateer attacks often compelled adversaries to seek peaceful resolutions to conflicts. Explorations and colonization. Privateering was closely tied to exploration and colonization. Privateers like Sir Francis Drake circumnavigated the globe, explored new territories, and established claims on behalf of their home nations. This expanded the reach of European empires and contributed to the age of exploration. Cultural impact. Privateering has left a lasting cultural impact. Stories of famous privateers and their daring exploits have become part of a maritime folklore and history. They've inspired countless books, films, and legends that continue to captivate audiences. In summary, privateers played a multifaceted role in shaping history, impacting naval warfare, economics, diplomacy, exploration, and culture. Their actions had far-reaching consequences that extended well beyond their individual exploits. Yet, the opposing viewpoint is equally fervent. Critics argue that the methods employed by privateers were often indistinguishable from those of pirates. These sanctioned combatants strayed far from the noble ideas of chivalry, resorting to ruthless tactics to achieve their goals. The impact of piracy and privateering on history and commerce cannot be underestimated. These maritime conflicts influenced the course of nations, altered the destinies of empires, and left their mark on the annals of commerce. The tales of daring privateers and fearsome pirates have been woven into the fabric of global history. Yet, as we continue to sail these complex waters, it is essential to maintain a balanced analysis, for history seldom provides clear-cut answers. Instead of offering a definitive conclusion, we encourage you, dear viewer, to embark on your own intellectual voyage. Explore the depths of history, scrutinize the actions of privateers and pirates, and arrive at your own conclusion. Ready for more tales from the high seas? Click that bell icon to receive a notification when we drop our next treasure trove of videos. The debate rages on. Were pirates the true criminals, or did privateers share equal blame? The answer, it seems, lies in the murky depths of the perception and circumstance. There is no denying the impact of piracy and privateering on history and commerce, shaping the course of nations and leaving a legacy that continues to fascinate and divide. It's a debate that may never find a definitive conclusion, for history, much like the sea, is ever-changing and filled with shades of gray. So, me hearties, I leave you with this. Delve into the stories, weigh the arguments, and form your own opinions. The line between pirate and privateer may forever remain as elusive as the horizon. Until our next adventure, mateys, keep the wind in your sails and the spray in your face. Amidst the waves they sailed the deep, in shadowed waters secrets they keep. Pirates bold and privateers cunning, both with deeds and lies worth shunning. The pirate's code ruthless and stark, plundered ships left cold and dark, while privateers a sanctioned deceit danced on the edge of morals discreet. Were they criminals or men of trade, their motives hidden in a masquerade? In murky waters lines blurred and crossed, where treasures won and lives were lost. The debate endures, no verdict near. In history's haze they both appear as legends born of blood and tears in the tumultuous sea of bygone years. So let us contemplate and in thought roam these maritime realms, their deeds to comb, for in the depths of the sea's abyss lies a tale of rogues, both hit and miss. Until next time, mateys.